Hey everybody, I want to talk to you today about one of my biggest pet peeves when people are doing goal setting. And it's not that you're doing anything wrong. I just feel like there's misinformation in the market and it looks really attractive to do this in goal setting, but it really doesn't set most people up for success. So I see a lot of people that latch onto this idea of, you'll hear the BHAG or the big, hairy, audacious goals. And it's something where they want it to be really big and just this really crazy goal. So let's say you're running today a $500,000 business. Well, your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal might be like, well, you know what? We're $500,000. We've only been around $500,000 the last 20 years, but this year we're going to be $30 million. That's it. We're going to be $30 million by the end of this year. And you know what? We only have 6 months left in the end of the year. And I'll see stuff like that when people are like, well, you've got to set big goals. Why? Why do you have to set big goals? Because somebody who wrote a book said you need to set big goals? Well, let me ask you this. How many years have you been setting big goals and not hitting them? How many years have you been setting big goals and failing to hit those big goals? The problem is not that you set a big goal. The problem is you set a goal that was, number one, probably just unrealistic for you. But even if it is realistic to physically hit the goal, you've not implemented the steps, the activities, all those things that it takes to hit it, because you don't even know what to do. You just know, hey, I'm supposed to set a goal and it'll just magically happen. I blame a lot of this stuff on stuff like The Secret and things like that, where, hey, it was good in theory and there's a lot of good stuff to it. But if you just set a goal and then set your butt on the couch, you're not going to accomplish the goal. If you just set a big goal and then do the same things you've been doing and just hope, remember, hope's not a strategy. If you just hope that because now I have this big goal, it's all going to work out, it's not. So here's the deal. Don't worry about what everybody's saying about what your goals should look like or anything like that, how big they need to be, how crazy they need to be, all those kind of things. You need to focus on goals you can achieve. You need to focus on the steps, the actions it's going to take to actually make those things happen. That's where you need to focus. So if you have a history of not hitting your big goals, look, let's just start over. Let's dial it back and let's focus on something that we can hit. Now, here's the other side of that. If you're blasting through your goals, and I've had another video about this, if you're blasting through your goals, you're not setting big enough goals. So there's two sides of this thing, but most of the time what I see is the first one. You set a massive goal, no way you could possibly achieve it. You don't know how to achieve it. You've never run a business that big. You don't have a marketing team. You don't have the resources in place to do it, but somehow setting the goal looks attractive. And it really is attractive. It really is. But I want you to just dial it back a little bit and say, look, we're a $500,000 business today. Okay, how do we make sure that we're at 600 or 750 by the end of the year? Maybe even $1 million. How do we double? That's a good goal. How do we double? And then once you've doubled, then you'll learn a lot of stuff by that process, by going through that. And then next year you could say, okay, we're $1 million business now. Can we get to 2.5 million this year? Okay, what do we need to do? Strategically, what needs to happen? And boom, then you do it. Then, okay, now we're 2.5. How do we get to 5 million? And then when you're 5, how do we get to 10? And when we're at 10, how do we get to 15, 18 million? And then next thing you know, you're 5-6 years in and you did hit the $30 million goal because you've taken it in chunks and systematically walk through it. So do that. Have the giant goal as an endpoint, as a destination, but back it down, create some milestones that are achievable right now, and go chase those. You'll be a lot happier and a lot better off. You'll achieve a lot more. If you have questions, you know how to reach me. We'll see you next time.